Welcome back to another Sunday School Bible class. Today's lesson is entitled God's Judgment on Both Kingdoms. A quick summarization of Israel's basic mistake helps understand their predicament in today's and all future lessons. God wanted to be the king of his people and govern them by his laws, which were to be taught through the prophets and priests. That type of government is called a theocratic government. However, although the people originally agreed to that contract at Mount Sinai, they later chose to be governed by a human king, which is called a monarchal government or monarchy. This week's lesson continues to look at the terrible consequences of that choice and the terrible consequences of King Solomon's sin, which was the splitting of the nation of Israel into two separate kingdoms, Israel and Judah. Both of these kingdoms were weaker and more prone to sin and all of its horrible consequences, as their different kings failed to study, practice, teach, and enforce the commandments of God. Hundreds of years after the split, and because both kingdoms kept on sinning despite all the warnings God sent them by the prophets, God finally sent other nations to attack both kingdoms as he had warned. The first kingdom to get attacked and conquered was the kingdom of Israel in the north. They were attacked by the Assyrian nation, and all the Israelites in the kingdom of Israel were scattered among other lands into other nations, no longer to live in their own country anymore. The Israelites that were in the southern kingdom of Judah were committing the same sins as the Israelites in the northern kingdom of Israel. However, the kingdom of Judah had some godly kings, such as King Hezekiah, who led the people of his kingdom to worship and obey God. Yet, after King Hezekiah died, his son Manasseh became king. King Manasseh committed so many terrible sins that God promised Judah would be punished. They would be conquered by the Babylonian Empire. As God warned the Israelites to prepare for this judgment through the prophets like Jeremiah, the people would not listen, and in fact, beat and killed many of God's prophets. These prophets, however, wrote down their messages from God, and they are still with us today in the Holy Bible. About 100 years after